What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. I don't know why my light is looking crazy, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 3. I was gonna say 13. Listen, let's have a real conversation for a second. Okay, real conversation for a second. The beginning of this episode started off where we left off last week with Crystal, Sutton, and Kyle having a conversation about race. And Sutton doesn't understand why saying I don't see color is a bad thing. And the best way I can describe this, Bravo did a conversation this summer on race. And Dr. Britt from Married to Medicine LA, the now defunct Married to Medicine LA, she's mixed, right? She's half white, half black. And I thought she was white when I first saw her on the show, until she, told us. And what she said about that statement, it sums it up for me. And what she said about that statement was, when people say to me, I don't see color, what I hear is, I don't see you. Because I'm colored. I am a color. I said in my review last week that we have got to start having the uncomfortable conversations about race. Listen, let me say this to Sutton for this part, because I got some more for you later on, Sutton. But for this part right here, let me say this to Sutton. I get it. I understand that in this climate that we are dealing with right now, the last thing you want to be labeled is a racist. The last thing you want to be labeled is a Karen. The last thing you want to have to deal with is that you said something that you didn't realize, know, accept, whatever, that was racist. And now you're dealing with the consequences of that racism. I get it. Get it. Microaggressions are real. Things that people used to say without a problem, they are now being called out for. Things that people used to do are now being you're being told it's not acceptable. Perfect example. Last season on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya got called out for wearing a Native American costume. Well, I think when we were kids, everybody at some point in time was an indigenous person. It wasn't okay then. But now, not only is it not okay, but it's not acceptable, and you are not allowed to do it, right? And I get it, Sutton. I get it. But here's what I need you to do, Sutton. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to listen. Stop being ready to defend yourself. Stop being ready to say what you are not, and listen. Crystal was trying to have a real conversation with you about race, and all you heard was, you're trying to make me out to be a racist. That's all you heard. That's all you heard. And then you tried to make it about you, talking about, when people hear my accent, and when I lived in New York, I had to prove to people that I wasn't racist. Because people heard my accent and just assumed I was a redneck racist. Okay. So that was that. At a certain point, and I feel like that scene was probably edited down, because at a certain point I could almost see the smoke coming out of Crystal's head because she was trying to talk. Now, Crystal, you was throwing shade, and you was being a little shady too. You don't get out, you was being a little shady too, girl. But what I can appreciate is the next morning, Sutton went to Crystal and they had a conversation. I'm going to say they came to a happy medium. I don't think anything was really resolved, but they came to a happy medium. I'm going to just leave it at that. So it's the next day. Listen. All right. That we got the heavy stuff out the way for right now. Listen. Because, I will say this. Because later on in the episode, Sutton tried to pull Erica in on that mess and tried to say, I mean, Erica, you're from the South. I mean, have you had to deal with that before? Erica was like, no. Nope. I never had that problem. Then Dorit gonna put her foot in her mouth talking about, well, Erica, I mean, you lived in LA and you lived in New York and maybe, you're just, you just have, you've been exposed to some things. Sutton had to be like, excuse me, whoa, wait a minute. I'm cultured, ma'am. I've lived in London. I've lived in Paris. I lived in New York. Let's not go there. And I was with you on that one, Sutton, because Dorit, you put your foot in your mouth, because you really were trying to throw a little dig at Sutton. You really were. And Sutton has, just like you've lived in Italy, Sutton, you've lived in Europe, Sutton has lived in Europe. She's traveled the world just like your ass has traveled the world, Dorit. Go on, sit down somewhere, girl. Anyway, moving on. Y'all, that damn Kathy Hilton is the gift that keeps giving. Listen. Please bring her back next year. I heard she quit the show. Y'all, please bring Kathy Hilton back. I don't care. Matter of fact, let Kathy Hilton go on a tour. Let Kathy Hilton go down to Atlanta and film. Let her go to Potomac and film. Give her a special episode on New York and New Jersey. Listen, let Kathy Hilton take the tour. She is the gift that keeps giving. They said that Kathy Hilton... Crystal said that Kathy Hilton knocked on her door in the middle of the night with a fan and about 8 pillows. Then she went to Kyle's room and was on her iPad drinking a Red Bull. And when Kyle said, why are you drinking a Red Bull in the middle of the night? She said, oh, I just thought it was a regular old soda. Ma'am. Then she started reading the newspaper. Who the fuck still read the newspaper every day? Kyle said she had about 7 newspapers. First of all, Kathy, where you get 7 newspapers from? Where did you get them from, Kathy? Second of all, who the fuck still read the newspaper every day? You were just on your iPad. I promise you, your iPad got them newspapers. Listen, Kathy is the gift that keeps giving. So when they got up the next day and they got ready to go on their little excursion, honey, Kathy was passed out asleep. Told Kyle to get out her damn room. Kyle was like, are you ready to go? Kathy said, get out my room. You know my ass crashed. I had that damn, I was eating chips and drinking Red Bull at 2 in the morning. I crashed at about 5. It is now 11. Leave me the hell alone. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I had to give y'all the light after the heavy. Okay. So the ladies, they're going on their excursion, and they're going on the little things on the train track thingy mabob, and they had to take 2 vans because it's too many of them to be in one van. I guess that was like COVID, precautions or whatever. And Sutton, Garcelle, and somebody else was on the slow car. Dorit, Erica, Lisa, and Kyle were on the fast car. Now let me say this again, Kyle, I find it real interesting that you have anxiety over the simplest shit, but the stuff that I would expect you to have some anxiety over, you ain't got no problems with. Now you got your ass on that little damn go-kart with no sides, no top, no nothing, no steering wheel. You doing everything with your feet on these railroad tracks going through the fucking mountainside, and that didn't bother you. That ain't bother you. Okay. I mean, that was pretty uneventful. I mean, the ladies went, it was what it was. But when they got back to the house, now Garcelle, Crystal told her she was named after Crystal Gale and Crystal Carrington, and Garcelle thought that was a bad thing. Talking about something, I wouldn't be bragging about that. Shit, I would. If my mama named me after Crystal Carrington, I'd be bragging about it. And I remember Crystal Gale. Crystal Gale used to be on Solid Gold. She had that hair all the way down her back, down to her butt. She was a country singer. I used to love Crystal Gale. Garcelle, why you throw that shade like that? There ain't nothing wrong with that. But anyway, they got back to the house, honey, and Kathy's up. Y'all. Kathy Hilton. She put nose drops in her eyes. She said she thought they were eye drops. Listen, I cannot make this shit up. Okay, Kathy Hilton is freaking hilarious to me. Okay, she's hilarious. So the only other thing that was real eventful with that whole situation was Garcelle made some comments about Paris. Now listen, Garcelle, let me say this to you. I be here for you, girlfriend, and you know I know you like to be honest and all that good stuff. But let's be clear, at the end of the day, that is still that woman's child. Okay, Paris is still Kathy Hilton's daughter. You were like, I mean, Paris used to really irritate me. I mean, I would see her at parties and stuff, and she just wouldn't put that phone down. She just wouldn't put her phone down. And Kathy kind of, I give Kathy credit because Kathy was like, well, you know why she used to do that? Because she had really bad anxiety, and the phone was her prop, and it was her way to hide. She was very, not anxiety, I'm sorry, she was very shy. And the phone was her prop. And she would use her phone as a way to avoid uncomfortable conversations and for people to keep coming up to her because she really was a shy person. Now, if you guys remember the heyday of the whole Paris Hilton, socialite situation, but I just felt like that was a little rude for Garcelle to say. First of all, you're old enough to be that girl's mother. So I feel like I feel like the way you said it was a little judgy. And I ain't mad at Kyle for saying, you know what, if me and Garcelle, were still in a bad place. I mean, I'm glad me and her made up before we got here. Because if we were still in a bad place, I probably would have handled that real differently because she was coming for my niece a little bit. And I do feel like that comment, and I don't know if she meant it rude, but it was rude. Anyway, they get to the restaurant. Because they were going to dinner, child. They get to the restaurant. And the funniest part about the meal was, first of all, they were spread out and they were all uncomfortable because they were like all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And before I do that, let me pause for a quick second. I missed this. They had a whole conversation about Donald Trump. And Lisa Rinna was really sitting there trying to be like, well, when I was on The Apprentice, Donald Trump was really nice. And I don't know. He was a really nice guy when I was on The Apprentice. And I didn't have any problems out of him. And I mean, I never thought he would turn into the person that he is today. Bravo, y'all could have missed me with that whole moment. Just so you know. Lisa Rinna is selling lip products, and she was like, I don't know what took me so long to think this was a good idea. I mean, I've sold everything else, but the one thing I'm probably the most famous for, two things Lisa Rinna known for is that damn haircut that she ain't got rid of since 1982, and them lips. So I don't know why it took you so long to decide to sell some lip color. It's supposed to be out by Black Friday, child. She said the COVID, pushed everything back, but it should be out by, by Black Friday and Christmas. Okay, girl. Now, while they're at dinner, Kathy Hilton is drinking martinis, right? And at a certain point, it looked like she had ordered an extra martini. And so she said, hey, anybody want this martini? Anybody want to go bottoms up with me? And so Dorita's like, I'll do it. Sure. And the two of them proceed to down these these Belvedere martinis, right? Straight. No, didn't take no breath, just went go, 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 go. And baby, even Erica is looking at Dorit like, because, they don't know whether Kathy can really drink like that. But they're looking at Dorit like, girl. So then, they go through dinner, whatever. So then, Dorit says, let's do another one. Kathy, you want to do another one? Kathy like, shit, let's do it. I'll do another one. Then Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane say, hey, I'll do one too. And they down, they down their martinis, go, 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 go. Now, to be honest with you, I was like, I mean, maybe I'm telling on myself, but I was like, okay, y'all, go ahead, y'all. Go, 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 go. I didn't think it was a big deal. Like, well, here's what was funny. They said that Kathy is a prankster. So Kathy was actually pranking them, and Dorit was in on it. And Dorit knew it was really water. She asked the waitress to bring her some water and make it look like a martini. And so the first time they did it, Dorit was in on it. But y'all know Dorit ass can't keep a damn secret. So Dorit then texted Lisa and Erica and told them it's water, and let's prank her back, and let's order one, and let's make her think that it's real and it's just water. And so that's what that whole thing was about. Well, Sutton thought they were texting about her because at dinner, the whole conversation came up again about race and what had happened the night before, and this, that, and the other. I'm not rehashing all of that. So Sutton thought it was about her. So when they were in the car on the way back, who was it? Was it Garcelle, I think? Sutton, they started talking about the prank. Now, Kathy didn't know that they had pranked her back. Kathy thought that they really had drank real martinis, thinking that the first martini was real. She didn't realize that they were in on the joke and they sort of pranked her back. Well, Sutton didn't know either. And so they got to talking about it, and Crystal kicked Sutton and then leaned over to tell her, don't say anything. Kathy doesn't know it was a prank. Y'all, Sutton turned that into a whole moment. She talked about how Kathy kicked her. How Crystal kicked her. And why would she kick me? And she kicked me. And I can't believe that she kicked me. And she kicked me. And she kicked me. And she kicked me. And I can't believe that she kicked me. Girl. And Crystal was like... And so Garcelle, when they got out the van, Garcelle asked the rest of the ladies and was like, well, y'all texting about Sutton. And so then Sutton gets mad at Garcelle. Why would you say that? Garcelle was like, because, so you can hear it from them that they weren't talking about you, that it was about something totally different. Because by this time, Garcelle was in on the joke too. And she knew what was going on. And it got to the point where everybody knew except for Sutton and Kathy. So, listen, as somebody who doesn't like to feel left out, I understand, and I might have felt some kind of way too, if I felt like the people at the table, they was talking about me and they was texting back and forth. We've all been in that situation, I feel like, where you feel like you're not in on a joke, like something's going on and you ain't in on it. So I understand Sutton feeling some kind of way about that. I get it. I do. But for you to turn that into a whole moment about Crystal kicking you and how you weren't in on the joke and shit, y'all, I swear, like, you would think that Crystal stomped on her pinky toe in some stilettos or something. Like, it really, they were in the back of the van. It really wasn't that damn serious. And even when Sutton described it, she said it wasn't that big of a deal. So why, ma'am, why are we taking it to this extreme? Girl, it turned into a whole fit to the point where Crystal's ass said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to bed. And Crystal was in her room talking cold cash shit about Sutton. And they were in front. They were still there talking to Sutton. I think it was Sutton, Kathy, and maybe Kyle. I don't know. They were still trying to talk to Sutton and get Sutton to understand why she overreacted and why she was making a big deal about nothing. Child, listen, I ain't got the energy. Sutton, if you're going to do this all season, ma'am, I can't do this with you. Now, last season, I started off slow with you last season. And by the end of the season, you had kind of won me over. But, ma'am, if you're going to do this all season, I cannot. I can't with you because that was a lie. That was a lie. Anyway, that's it. That's all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.